Frigidaire. We introduced the first home freezer, the first pulsator agitator washer. And now we introduce the Frigidaire Orbit Clean dishwasher, designed with a unique wash arm that gives you 4 times more water coverage for a consistently better clean. Frigidaire, over 90 years of legendary innovation.
See the full line of Frigidaire appliances at Ventura TV Electronics and Appliances.
Hi, I'm John Mallows. Welcome to this live edition of Connect with Me on the showroom floor at Ventura TV on this Friday. Today, the focus is on business, a business that's only been around a couple of months, but you'll have an interest right here on the set of Connect with Me. 436-ME-TV, option 11. Do call in. Do turn down the sound. When you do, back in a moment.
Tonight I want to discuss the importance of the television medium to the American people.
Back here in the program, here on Connect with Me on MeTV Fresno, Comcast Channel 187 and 43.6. And a big shout out to all of you watching us on 13.1. That's also MeTV. You're watching us live on that station as well. And you can catch the replay of this show at 1 o'clock in the afternoon today. It's on YouTube. That's 13.6. And then the replay on Biz TV at 8 o'clock tonight, 13.5. So if you missed this show live, hey, you can watch the replays if you can't stay for the full hour, because as you know, we expanded. We're here until 11 o'clock, the full 60 minutes. Today, the focus is on business. Now, I don't know if this is kind of water related, kind of not, but we're going to focus on a flower shop today. And have you ever wondered where flower shops get their flowers? And if they get their flowers locally, how do they water them? We're in a drought situation. We're in a major drought situation. Let's roll the videotape, show you exactly what I'm talking about. Karma Cat Flora and Gift is a locally owned business, and they claim to have fresh cut flower arrangements. So my question is today, where do they come from? Our guest will have no problem in answering that. They arrange flowers for every occasion. I'm talking weddings, graduation, sympathy, prom night, whatever the case may be. The folks at Karma Cat Floral and Gift promise a great customer service. That promise coming from the owner himself, and I'm talking about Terry Campbell. He's a native of Fresno who's owned the place only for a couple of months. He's a former member of the U.S. Army, spent much of his time working in commercial sales and in the restaurant business, both prepping him for what he is doing now. His father, Craig, was an amazing artist who died at a tragic accident at the age of 33. And so at Fresno State, they still have the Craig Stover Art Scholarship Fund. And in his father's honor, you will see paintings of local artists hanging on the wall. Customers can come in, look. They can also purchase if they want, and they can also buy a vase full of flowers just like that. This is all part of Art Hop. Some of the paintings and photographs on display now include Matthew Alvarado, Ray Morse, Janet Flores. Live in our studio right now, my friends, is Terry Campbell. He is the owner of Karma Cat Floral and Gift. He's here to answer all of your questions, including, hey, how to make those arrangements, how to cut your costs, how to come into his floral shop, make make a phone call. Maybe you can have it ready when you get there. 436-ME-TV, option 11. You're watching us live on Comcast Channel 187, 43.6, 13.1, the replay 13.6, and 13.5, 1 o'clock and 8 o'clock respectively. Call in, back in just a moment.
When you're looking for Whirlpool innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, we'll help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified Whirlpool appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Back here on the program with our guest, and we're talking about floral arrangements, my friends, and a floral shop that's been around only a couple of months now. And Terry Campbell is the guest. How are you, Terry? I see you brought something with you here.
I sure did. I brought this for you here in the studio. This is a gift from Carmen Cat Floral and gift to you to brighten up your desk here a little bit.
Not to me. We have, other people you can give that to here in the studio.
I think it's going to stay here with the folks at Ventura TV. I suspect they're going to hold on to it, so it's for them as well. You're right.
Yeah. Hey, so the first question that I posed here on the program during the monologue, and that is, where do you get your flowers? Where do most florists get their flowers? Are they locally grown? Do you guys send out for them? How do they arrive at your shop?
Okay. There are several outstanding flower suppliers, fresh cut flower suppliers, wholesalers in Fresno. And while most florists don't use uniquely one supplier, they dip into several, and because different suppliers will offer different products grown from different areas, right? Anywhere from South America to Southern California to the Bay Area, just depending on what you need. Some florists will use one particular wholesaler more heavily, but they're all used fairly evenly throughout the
Where do the wholesalers get them?
Oh, wow, we have these guys.
They have to come from somewhere. I mean, do they come from the Central Valley? Do they come from somewhere in California, somewhere outside of California?
There are some that come from, I believe, come from the Central Valley. The majority of the ones we see at our shop are we get them from Colombia, Ecuador. We get carnations, for instance. Most of our carnations come in from Colombia, believe it or not.
How do they ship them here?
They're brought in by boat and air freight. Both.
Do they freeze them?
They do not freeze them. They hydrate them really well at their point of origin. And they're hydrated very well, and so by the time they make the trip all the way to California and to their respective florists, they are in need of hydration when they get in. They're a little tired. They're still looking good, but the florist's job at that point is to process them and make sure that they're hydrated and looking good for the customer.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So they come in from. So do any of them come from like across the Atlantic or no? Just from down south?
Yeah, no, across the Atlantic, absolutely.
They do. They fly them over.
I've seen them come in from Holland, from the Netherlands. I've seen them come in from Asia, depending on what you're looking for.
So how do they keep them fresh? So when they arrive here, they look like they're freshly cut.
It's a very speedy process. The folks that do this, and there are huge growers, for instance, the ones down in Ecuador. I've got a friend, actually, who just came back from Ecuador, and he described, I believe it was carnations. He went and he saw just fields and fields and fields and fields, and several hundred greenhouses. These operations are huge. They've got it down to a science.
Really?
They do it quickly. It's got to be done quickly. Time is of the essence when it comes to fresh cut flowers, because if you don't get it done in a quick fashion, boy, they'll go south on you real fast. So they pack them and they get them hydrated, but the refrigeration is the key. Keep them refrigerated and expedite the process of getting them to.
How long do they take to get here?
I don't know. That's a good question. I need to find out. I'm imagining it's just a day or two.
Yeah, and so the handling of the flowers is really critical.
Yes.
So they cut them, they put them in, they hydrate them, they refrigerate them. And so is that kind of an art in itself to be able to know? I mean, because every flower is different, and a rose may not last as long as a carnation. Every flower has a different lifespan. Is that right?
Absolutely.
So you have to know what you're doing with the flowers.
Absolutely, and you know what? It's an ongoing learning process too. We still learn things on a daily basis almost of, better not do that again. Or, we know what to do when a certain type of flower comes in. For instance, if you're dealing with a stargazer lily, those great big lilies with they're shaped like stars, and people love them. They smell really fragrant, but you can't put flower preservative in the water with them or it turns the edges brown. And
You're kidding.
Yes,
so you don't put anything in the water?
Nope, not on those. Not on those.
When you're transporting, you mean?
Period. You don't want if you're doing an arrangement with the stargazers in it, or when you're storing them in your own cooler, you don't want that preservative in the water because the edges will begin to turn brown.
I see. We got a piece of videotape called Arranging a Bouquet. How to arrange a bouquet. Do we have that video there? Let's roll that one there. Okay, it's right there. Okay, they're arranging bouquets there. Is that your wife?
That's my beautiful wife, Fran, yes.
Oh, okay. All right, so tell us the art, the technique, the secret behind arranging a good bouquet.
Well, there are tried and true methods, things that you do, you learn in floral design classes, how you put your greenery in, to how you arrange your flowers. Some flower arrangements, like the one she's greening right now, it's a very specific technique of putting the greens in to make them fuller and to make a good background for the flowers going in. Now, if you follow, you can do a classic style, like an English garden type style, very balanced. Some people do more avant-garde and I'd say funky stuff, where you do your own artistic interpretation.
So what's your wife doing there?
She's greening a vase, and that would be real.
So you put the greens in first?
In most cases, in that style of an arrangement, in that type of a vase, you can put the
Why?
greens in.
Why do you put the greens in first?
The way she's doing it, it creates a grid. If you can see the stems at the bottom of the vase, those are in such a way that when you go to put, say, your roses in, it actually holds them in place. If you do it correctly, it's held in place, and it makes it more stable. So it serves two purposes. It looks beautiful, and it creates a nice firm base for your flowers to go in.
Huh. So there are ways to do this at home if you'd like, and I'm sure a lot of people, without taking a specific class and knowing how to do it. Now, you arrange the one that's on the desk with us right here now. Why don't you hold that up a little bit and show us what you specifically did. Hold that right in front of your face there so they can see it right there.
That is it.
Okay.
Much
okay.
better.
So what did you do specifically to arrange this one so it looks like everything is in place and it's not going to move around or be loose inside the bottle there, or the vase, I should say?
Well, we started out with greening, very similar to what you saw Fran doing there in the video. This particular one has leather leaf and salal, or sometimes known as lemon leaf, real popular greening materials. And then from that point, what we're trying to do is create a nice, pleasant dome. You see, if you can see how you spin it, you want a nice dome. And most flower arranging classes or books or tutorials will teach you for a bouquet like this, you want a dome shape. The card here is kind of throwing that off right now, but we've added to this one, for instance, we started with our carnations, various colors of carnations, and we're going for more of a warm color on this one. So we did the red alstroemeria, this beautiful deep red alstroemeria. We've got some white carns, we've got, and for little pops of color, almost like punctuation, we've got these little yellow button mums.
Now hold that up there. Keep holding that up. I'm going to ask you a question, and don't take offense to this, but what does it cost for something like that? Is it expensive? And the vase that the bouquet that your wife was arranging, what does that one cost? Because that one was much bigger in the video than this one here. So this one goes for how much, and the one in the video goes for how much? Well,
this one here we do probably about $25 to $29.99.
Okay.
And a larger bouquet, for instance, she's setting up a dozen roses on that, and that would be $49.99 for a dozen roses with that type of greening and that type of vase. Now, the cost of the arrangement will vary depending on the type of flower. Some flowers, just like on a restaurant menu, some flowers are more expensive than others. Yeah. So if that was loaded full of stargazer lilies or some really exotic, expensive roses, well, the price would go up according to what kind of flowers are in there.
Understood. We're talking with Terry Campbell. He is the owner of a flower shop here in the city of Fresno, and it's only been around just a couple of months, and it's kind of his lifelong dream to do this. He's a native of Fresno, so call in if you have any questions about floral arrangements. If you want to arrange some kind of a design for your graduation, your wedding, whatever, the prom. I mean, that's coming up next year, I guess, so we have a ways to go before that. But 436-ME-TV, option 11. Do call in. Do turn down the sound.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
Back here on the program on Connect with Me, we're teaching you how to arrange flowers in that bouquet and that corsage or whatever you want to do. All right, how about some cost-cutting tips for the viewers out there? Because, oh yeah, you said this is what, $29?
Yeah,
roughly speaking.
About $25 to $29.99.
$25 to $29, and the one that your wife was preparing was about $49?
For a dozen roses.
Something like that?
In a vase like that.
Before you give us those cost-saving tips, I do want to take a phone call here. Good morning, caller. You're on the air.
My wife's got a birthday coming up in November, and her favorite flower is a gardenia. Is that something that your guest stocks? Or if I were to bring my business to your guest, would I call in advance and request a bouquet for my wife's birthday is November 18th? And I don't know if they're necessarily in season at that time. Can you answer that for me? Do I need to pre-arrange for gardenias in mid-November?
Wow. Did you hear him hesitate on his wife's birthday?
Yes.
Is November, like stretch that R out,
But
right?
he did a great job, yeah.
Go ahead.
Gardenia's beautiful flower. The smell is awesome, and absolutely call at least a couple of weeks ahead of time so we can order them in. Our shop in particular doesn't carry them on a regular basis. They're kind of a specialty.
Really?
They're
So you got to call a couple of weeks in advance,
just to make sure we can get them in, yeah. And then because we don't stock the gardenias, a lot of folks won't. They're kind of finicky. You know, if you touch the petals in the wrong way, they bruise very easily.
I have this preconceived idea in my mind that men don't know how to arrange flowers. It's more women know best when it comes to flower arranging. Am I right about that?
No.
I'm not?
You know, so,
Really?
You know, a lot. Well, I get a lot of our male customers will come in and look like they're, you know, standing on a different planet when they're looking around for flowers. And
And they ask for your wife.
a funny thing is,
They ask for your wife, right?
They do. And when I deliver flowers,
See, I told you.
Well, for instance, this one here, I made this one.
But it's a preconceived idea when you walk in. You don't know how to do it. Let me talk to your wife.
Yep.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I had a delivery go out to a lady last week, and she's a really good customer, lovely lady. And we were running a little late because my wife was homesick that day. And I called her to say I was on my way, you know, and she said, well, who made the flowers? Who's going to make the flowers? I said, well, I am. And there was a big pause because she didn't believe me that I was making them. It was funny.
Yeah, it's how dare you, Terry?
Yeah.
How dare you say that you know how to make them? All right, caller, you're on the air.
Hello, it's Paul from Fowler. I do want to say I go over to the coast quite often, and it used to be Watsonville area did have tons of flower fields, not so much anymore, but it seems to be coming back. Where do you get your flowers from, and why do you think it's not possible for California to be competitive?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of answered where you get your flowers from, right? But go ahead and answer it again because he might have missed the beginning of the program.
Sure, and I think California absolutely can be competitive. It just so happens that...
Well, why isn't it then?
You know, I'm not sure. I think with a lot of our agriculture tends to be food-oriented. That's just my own personal guess on that. Our drought issues now are probably a big factor in anyone wanting to do a startup flower grower. But a lot of the varieties of flowers that we and other florists use do best in the Bay Area. The climates in the Bay Area, they grow a lot better there.
But I mean, could you do it? Could you grow flowers in a greenhouse type situation in California and use like recycled water?
Certainly. As a matter of fact.
Costly though, huh?
Could be. Depends on how creative you are, how much ingenuity you have. We built our own greenhouse on our property. We're not using it just yet because of the drought restrictions right now.
Where's that property?
We live in Old Fig. We live about 2 blocks from our shop, actually.
Okay, so you're building a greenhouse type situation in your property there to grow flowers to sell.
Yes, or to supplement. Yes.
And directly, where do you get yours from now?
Directly right now.
From Ecuador?
Our supplier brings them in from Ecuador, Colombia, San Francisco, Bay Area.
All right. And we'll probably mention that throughout the show a couple of more times, just so people just tuning in. By the way, we're here for the full hour today. I want to roll that second piece of video, arranging flowers, or a bouquet, I should say. Now, here you are in your shop, located where?
We are at the corner of Maroa and Shaw, in the southeast corner, 365 West Shaw Avenue.
Yeah.
We're just there in Old Fig Garden Village.
Man.
Well, Old Fig Garden, I should say.
That thing is beautiful. Holy cow. What kind of flowers are in there?
Oh, she's got stargazers there, the big stargazers, and then she's also got some amaranthus, the big red tall one you see in the back.
What's that cost? What's that going to set me back?
That particular arrangement there, about $60 to $70.
Okay. All right. Is that like a dozen flowers, or?
Not quite a dozen. Well, maybe. By the time we're done with it, more than a dozen, actually.
More than a dozen.
She's still working on that one. Those are both actually pieces that we're going to one of our accounts. And and we put them out there. We were lucky enough to get a weekly account with a local business at 2 of their locations.
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about pricing because we mentioned this during the break. The cost of flowers, and I want to stick with this video here. I love looking at those arrangements there. The cost skyrockets usually Valentine's Day. Why?
Economics, supply and demand. What happens? Just about every florist shop will have
jack it up.
Huge demand. Exactly. Just economics 101, supply and demand. So the prices do tend to go up. Same as your favorite restaurant might go up in price on Valentine's Day.
And if you want to order something for Valentine's Day or birthday, especially let's say Valentine's Day, less than 6 months away or about 6 months away, how far in advance do you call in? On a day like that?
Preferably, we'd like to see at least a week or two.
A week or two, and you can deliver.
Yeah, absolutely. You
can. Okay, I want to get back to the pricing because I know a corsage. Now, correct me if I'm wrong because I've done a little research on this. Usually, a corsage to arrange a corsage usually takes anywhere from 10 to 15 to 30 minutes, depending on the corsage. Am I right about that?
That's absolutely right.
Average cost of a corsage.
Average cost, you can range anywhere from $25 to $50, depending on what you're having.
Can you do it yourself for a cheaper price?
You sure can.
How can you do that?
You can go to your local florist and order some fresh cut flowers. There are some grocery stores in town that carry their own, I'll go ahead and say Trader Joe's, Whole Foods carries a great fresh flower supply. And folks go there sometimes and build their own corsages. Yeah,
and let's say you want to buy a dozen roses for your wife, your girlfriend, whatever. That's usually about, with a vase, it's usually about what, 75, $100?
At Valentine's Day, yeah, easily.
Okay, but forget Valentine's Day, just like today, 75, 100?
Yeah, you can do that. We charge $49.99. We have a very competitive price on ours, and it's a beautiful arrangement.
So it's $49.99 today if I want to get a vase and a dozen roses?
Absolutely.
With that nice arrangement, made by your wife.
Made by my wife, or maybe me. I will say, yeah.
50. But can you do it cheaper if you do it yourself? Like you buy the vase at, I don't know, Target, Walmart, whatever, and then get the flowers somewhere else.
You sure can. You sure can.
Is that affecting your business or not?
Not really, because there is still a large amount of people out there that would like the convenience of not having to do it themselves and save the time. So we're happy to do it for them.
Right. They want the professionals doing it.
Yeah.
Because no matter how much you do it at home, and you can save probably anywhere from $25 to $50 doing it yourself, but it may not look the same.
That's right, and and it's there's a certain method to doing it, because people see that big globe of red roses coming at them with the baby's breath, and it's done a certain way.
Yeah.
And that's a certain amount of training to get it to look like that every time.
Yeah. All right, you do a terrific job out there, and Terry is here. Terry Campbell, owning that flower shop. Where is that? Over at Fig Garden, close to Fig Garden Village.
Yes,
close.
Yeah, we're about a block east of Fig Garden Village.
Shawn Maroa.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we're back with our program here. Hey, call in. Look at the arrangement here. I mean, it's beautiful. Don't you want to know and learn how to do that at home? 436-MeTV option 11. Here's the guy to talk about it. Back in just a moment.
When you like Ventura TV Appliance on Facebook, it's nice. But when you love the Samsung big screen we deliver, it's even better. Our website is cool, and it's a good place to start. But you really should touch the merchandise before you buy. Time for that upgrade to an HD 3D web-enabled Samsung TV. Get the best selection, price, and service in town without waiting. Come in to Ventura TV Appliance and touch the merchandise today.
The focus today, of course, is on business, and the name of the business is Karma Cat Floral and Gift, located at Shawn Maroa. Terry Campbell, the owner there, along with his beautiful wife, and making those flowers over there. You opened up a couple of months ago. I can't believe that. So before this, you were, what, you worked in the restaurant business, You worked elsewhere to kind of prep you. How did your other jobs prep you? Like, for example, you're working in the restaurant. How did that prep you for opening up a flower shop? That makes no sense to me.
I'll tell you what, customer service, customer service, customer service.
Is that right?
When you break it down and everything I've done professionally in life, the customer, the one with the money that wants to spend the money, is like a hungry customer, just like in a restaurant. And if you listen to them and what they want, you find out what it is they're hungry for and what they want. And if you know what you're doing with your business, you give them what they want.
So are you saying that because you worked in commercial sales, because you worked in the restaurant business, the customer comes first, and always first?
Absolutely, absolutely, and it's incredibly important to us that customers coming first. You're attentive, you're listening, and above all else, you appreciate them walking in your door, because they could easily be walking into somebody else's door and spending their money there.
Yeah, and in word of mouth, if they get a bad rap there, they're going to bad rap you once they walk out the door.
Oh yeah,
right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And you won't even know it.
That's true. That's true. Most people tend to talk a lot more about a bad experience than they do about a good experience, so it's deadly.
That's right. Now let's talk a little bit about your father. I want to talk about the art hop thing. Let's roll a videotape and take a look at some of the framed artwork that's on display inside the shop, because this is part of art hop, but also kind of in honor of your father, who died tragically at the age of 33, was just a prolific artist here in the city of Fresno, and they have a scholarship set up in his name at Fresno State. Now you have these photographs and paintings up in your floral shop for customers to come in and look at and also buy if they want. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct.
Why? That's the question.
We've got a very strong affinity for local artists, for the whole art process, whether it's music, it's painted art, it's photography, you name it.
Correct.
And in honor of my father, again, like you said, he's a prolific artist. Oh, and I do want to say, we are not yet an art hop location. We're in contact with the Fresno Arts Council to become one.
Not yet, but you're going to be.
We're working on it, yes.
Okay.
Yes, but
All
that's
right.
our goal, to go ahead and do that. But in the meantime...
a painting or a picture of a flower in a flower shop. How unique.
That is a hibiscus that is done by a local photographer named Ray Morse. And he came in with his portfolio, and that's just three of he's got tons of these beautiful pictures. That one on the left was taken in the Haight-Ashbury in 1995 in San Francisco.
Great stuff.
Yeah, neat stuff. And but it's just, again...
That one there?
Yeah, that one there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that was...
Ask you a question about your father. How did he die at the tender age of 33? He was fishing with a friend's son.
His son was 9 years old at the time, at the Fresno Slough out there, and they were driving back to get bait, and the car blew a tire. The car slipped off the side of the slough and flipped upside down in about 3 or 4 feet of water. My father was able to get himself out, but he went back in to get the kid who was trapped in there, and the kid was saved, and my father got stuck and drowned.
Yeah. What year was that?
That was 1978, actually almost this month, August 1978.
Yeah, so he obviously has a scholarship fund set up in his name, in his honor at Fresno State. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. It was established in 1984, and his parents, my grandparents, got a hold of many of his art pieces and had a show at Fresno State, had an art auction, and collectors came from all over the place, and friends and people who admired his art purchased the art, and that's what started the scholarship.
So do you have any of your father's artwork up in your...
We do.
Floral shop? Okay, let's roll another piece of videotape here and look at some of the other artwork that is on display there. At Karma Cat Floral and Gift, Shaw and Moreau. What are we looking at here, Terry?
The thing on the left is actually done by Janet Flores. She paints antique grape trays, and the items to the right are actually sun catchers. There's some retail items that we have for sale there at the shop. They're beautiful. There's more for grape trays.
I like the lime green walls.
Yeah, it makes everything pop.
Yeah, it makes it seem like hip hop and IHOP.
yeah, it does. I'll tell you.
Yeah, all kinds of hops. Anyway, call coming in. Good morning. You're on the air. Go ahead and stay with the video here. Well, you were on the air. 436 Me TV option 11. Be patient. Hang in there and call in. What's that? What is that right there?
That's a grape tray. It's an antique grape tray painted by Janet Flores,
yeah.
And she actually paints the grapes around the outlines of where the grapes dried almost 100 years ago.
Really?
They left an imprint on there, and she actually painted the grapes around. Those are actually almost like atomic shadows of the grapes that are.
Do you get a number of people that come in? They want to purchase these?
They inquire about them. Yes, they come in. They want to know about them.
And a piece like this will go for how much?
She sells those for $90 a piece.
Okay, that's not too bad. Not too bad. So I want to roll another piece of videotape and talk about not the artwork, but I want to talk about the flowers. Caring for the flowers. What's the rule number one in caring for a flower? Once you bring it home, let's say, that's where I get confused, because once they look great when I bring them home, and then like a day later, kafooey, they're gone.
A lot of rule number ones about caring for your flowers.
Well,
I would say
just give me a couple.
Temperature is critical. Don't leave them in a hot, stuffy room. They're going to wilt on you. And a lot of folks don't know this. Change your water. Change the water every few days. Take your arrangement, hold it in place, tip it, drain all that water out, and replace the water and give it flower food.
See, you're making a delivery here. You do deliveries all the time. Who's this going to?
That's going to The Habit in Big Garden Village.
I see.
That's one of our accounts. They were kind enough to do business with us, and we do a weekly delivery over there.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
And you deliver personally?
I do. I am the delivery guy.
Oh, you're the delivery guy as well?
I am the delivery guy too, and I wear a lot of hats around there, as my wife does too.
So you don't have a separate person for that, huh?
No, not at this time.
Not yet. It's not in the it's not in the cards yet financially.
Not yet, and it will be. It will be. And you know what though? Doing this, it allows me to interface with the public and get out there and really meet folks and put a face on our business.
You're open from what time to what time?
We open up at 9 a.m. or Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Wow, long hours.
Yeah, we don't want to stay open until 6 so we can catch you. If you're driving home and it's your anniversary and you slap your forehead and forgot to buy your wife flowers, you can stop at our place after work. We're open that extra hour.
Has the online business and the supermarkets, mainly like Costco, I see flowers over there. I see flowers just about every supermarket. Specifically, though, the online business, has that affected the traditional floral business like yours?
Yes,
it has.
Tremendously. The online business where you call the 1-800 number, and if you open the phone book, they're all over the place because they have these huge advertising budgets. And yes, it's convenient, but you know, it just, to me anyway, to our philosophy, it takes away from that local flavor and the local business, as far as the local business and knowing your neighborhood florist.
Okay, we're talking with Terry Campbell, the owner of Karma Cat Floral and Gift here in the city of Fresno, located at Shaw and Maroa. You're watching us on Comcast 187, 43.6, and also MeTV on 13.1. You can watch the replay of this show on 13.6, that's YouTube, and Biz TV, the replay comes up at 13.5, 8 o'clock tonight. Back with our show, 436 MeTV option 11, back in a moment.
I love a joke.
Say, Lucy.
Yeah, Ricky?
A tramp came up to me in the street and he said he hadn't had a bite in weeks.
What'd you do, bite him? Opening butler joke, buddy, come on.
The master says to the butler, Jeeves, did you put fresh water in the goldfish bowl? And the butler says, why? They didn't drink up what I gave them last night.
You know that ancient joke about the guy who saves his regiment, shoots the cook?
No. How does it go?
Back here on the program talking about floral arrangements. Now, if you have, like, let's say, a wedding or, unfortunately, a funeral or any other kind of occasion, and something drastic happens, let's say, and someone calls you in a frantic stage and they need you immediately to pull them out of a hole.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
How quickly can you do that? Does it depend on what kind of flowers you have on hand? Does it depend on what time of day or night it is? What if somebody calls you at like 5 o'clock at night? They have an occasion the next day, which is Saturday morning, and they just got hung out to dry by some other company.
We've had this happen. We've had it happen. We had a family. Unfortunately, they were let down by a large company, and called us, and we were out there within the hour and redid their funeral piece for them within 2 hours and had it out there for them.
Within 2 hours. Wow. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey, I called in earlier, and I didn't realize that my wife was watching the show at my mother-in-law's, Thank God I got her birthday right, but I got the flower wrong. Not gardenia.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Way to go. Way to go, caller. Way to go. Way to go.
Yeah. He got the
Nice
birthday
job.
right, though.
Nice job. Nice job.
Anyway, so it's gonna take 3 dozen yellow stems to get her back in a good mood after my gaff. So how much is it gonna send me back? Luckily, they left to go to Target, and she's not watching right now. I hope my father-in-law's not watching. So 3 dozen yellow roses delivered. What can you do for me?
3 dozen yellow roses. Well, we'll do the MeTV special with we'll waive the delivery charge on this for you. And
okay.
3 dozen roses. We normally do a dozen for $49.99, but for you today, since you called in, we'll go ahead and do 3 dozen. We can do them at $69.99 for you.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah.
Super deal.
You know,
Thank you.
I'm
Take
so
my bacon.
I'm so tempted to say, "Way to drop the ball, doofus," but I didn't really say that. Just ignore that.
No.
I didn't really say
didn't
that.
hear a thing.
I wanted to say that.
didn't hear a thing.
Thanks, guys. I know you understand.
Yeah. So when the other doofuses out there drop the ball, and do they come to you? Have you had that happen?
We've had that happen a couple of times. We actually there was the funeral one I just told you about.
No. I'm saying that I forgot my wife's birthday. I forgot this. I forgot Valentine's Day. I forgot.
You know, we've had guys come in a rush.
My anniversary. Huh?
We've had guys come in and rush. I'll tell you a secret. We also employ a sign spinner. We don't pay him because it's me too. When I don't have any time, when I don't have anything to do, I'll go out between 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock at night. We have one of those cool florist signs and a giant red rose, and I'll sit there out on Shaw Avenue and wave my sign and my big giant flower. And I can't tell you now how many guys have hung a quick right into our parking lot and picked up a dozen roses or picked up something for their wife because
they forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's where some of your business comes from, right? A lot of it.
Yep.
A lot of it.
I make a great reminder.
Yeah. Do you ever see any women come in that forget, or no? Is it mostly men?
Mostly men.
Mostly men.
Mostly men.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I thought.
Sorry, guys.
So you do. No, that's okay. So you do weddings, graduations, proms, Valentine's Day, baptisms, any occasion, right?
We'll do your goldfish's birthday if you want us to. We'll do just about anything you like.
Not a problem. Roll another piece of videotape here and talk about. You can roll any one that we want because we're going to talk about Art Hop. You're not a member of Art Hop right now. What are you doing right now? Are you taking a delivery on the phone, or?
Yeah, that's actually we're confirming a delivery that morning as our delivery mobile.
And where's that name come from? Karma Cat. How'd you come up with that? What's that all about?
We are huge believers in karma. We, you know what goes around comes around, and how you treat other people is basically how you're going to get treated.
How am I treating you so far here?
Yeah, outstanding. Great karma.
Okay.
You got great karma.
Okay,
you got the reverse karma. We brought you flowers in advance because we knew you were going to be so nice.
Thanks, Terry.
But yeah, we've had things happen in our life due to treating other people right and doing the right thing, that it comes around. It's treated us very well, and we like to pay that forward.
Karma Cat. But why Karma Cat? Not just karma.
We are cat people, and my father was a cat person as well in his art. Most of it, as a matter of fact, our logo that you see on the side of the van, that is one of his art pieces. And
see, there's a purpose and a reason for everything, including a name in most cases.
Mm-hmm, absolutely, yeah. We had that thing. We had it patented, and we had a trademark on it, and that's our logo, the Karma Cat.
Yeah. Now, what's that? A vase full of roses for a customer there that you guys made?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just thinking about, and we are going back to the cat thing. We're also huge supporters of. We have 4 rescue cats, and we know not everybody is a cat person, but we are. we have 4 very well taken care of rescue cats, and so that kind of played in the name too.
All right, go to the videotape. Another piece of video here that we're going to show on Connect with Me, Terry Campbell, the guest. 436 MeTV option 11. You're watching us on all sorts of stations today, so call in if you have a question about floral arrangements or any questions about where he's located. If you need flowers, how do they get in touch with you? What's your telephone number out there, Terry?
We are at 374-5400, 374-5400.
And this, what are we looking at here?
This is Matt Alvarado, a very talented young artist, came in and showed us some of his art. We were looking at some of his stuff, deciding what to put up for him. And I have to let you know, our artists, we let them hang their art on our walls free of charge. All proceeds go to the artist.
Oh, they do?
Yes, absolutely. We like to see him get started. Matt's a young artist who just got started up. So among that, he brought in just a huge collection of stuff. And we picked out, that's one of the ones we picked out, actually, to hang on the wall and sell for him. And there are 2 others, beautiful pieces that we hung up. But very, very talented young man.
And to be a part of Art Hop, you don't have to live in the tower, have a business in the tower, right?
No,
it can be anywhere in the city, pretty much.
Correct. They have different venues.
Different venues for different parts of the city. Just want to clarify that. And he looks like a young guy.
Yeah.
What's so special about his artwork?
You know, he's a self-taught artist. Didn't go to a university. Didn't go to an art school. He is from Visalia, and he has a day job. He works in the insurance industry, but he decided, you know what, I love art. I want to be an artist, and he just started painting. And he got himself a house here in Fresno, calls it the Art House. And the inside of his place is just festooned with art.
He does just abstract stuff? Or?
Abstract stuff,
Okay.
And he does. I haven't seen all of his stuff, but what I've seen so far is really, really cool abstract stuff.
Biggest myth in regarding the floral business? I can do it myself? I don't need you?
You know what? Having a good florist sure helps at the right occasion. Funerals are a good example.
Right.
Weddings are a good example. But you know what? We don't feel like there's anything wrong with doing it yourself if you're so inclined. You know, if you get in over your head, obviously we stand ready to help you out.
Ready to help out, yeah.
But you know what? We're seeing a trend. More and more people are liking to do their own thing. There's a large push for rustic, shabby chic. Especially at weddings, that type of style, and a lot of brides are doing their own flowers. And in a few instances, we've actually ordered the flowers in for them, something they can't find at a grocery store, order from Costco, etc. We'll get them for them.
All right, several more pieces of video to roll here and show our audience. Why did you decide to open up a flower shop? What is the attraction for you?
Well, in a way, it is art. Actually, not even in a way. It is very much art. My wife was an art major in college, and so she's always had a deep love of it. I was a musician and very much inspired by art, and we had saved our money, and we had talked about having a florist shop. And actually, I remember a long time ago, right out of high school, I worked for a local florist delivering flowers. And I had these really fond memories of working for these folks. And we thought about it, and we daydreamed about it, and you know, one day we decided, you know what, let's just do it. You know, now's the time, and so we decided to do it.
And are you glad?
Absolutely, best thing we've ever done. It's scary, but at the same time, so far we're successful. And
scary in what way? You're talking financially?
Significant financial investment. We did have a significant financial investment.
Which was what, if you don't mind sharing?
To start
what
up
it cost just to start up the flower shop?
Start up a flower shop anywhere. Generally, for a flower shop, you can go starting up at about $25,000 to start. You know, if you want a brick and mortar storefront place, we've invested close to $35,000 getting started up.
Of your own money.
Our own money.
Now, do you own the shop, or do you own the building, or is it a lease?
We lease.
It's a lease.
We own everything in it, but we lease the space.
So why did it cost so much if you don't own the building? What's the main cost?
The biggest cost we had was the refrigeration unit, the cooler. The cooler set us back close to $12,000 for a good cooler. We have a large one. It's a combination display cooler in the front and storage cooler in the back. It's a single unit, and but we wanted to make sure we bought a good one because our business hinges on good refrigeration. If you don't have that, you don't have a flower shop.
And where do you buy a good cooler like that? Where do you make the purchase?
We did a lot of research online. We got ours from Float Air, which is a company back east, and they had it manufactured and brought up from Southern California, but there's True Coolers, Bush Coolers, there are a lot of big names out there. If you're going to open a flower shop, do your research and get a good reputable cooler.
Okay. Back in a moment here with Terry Campbell. You're watching us on Comcast 187, 43.6, 13.1, and then later on 13.6 and 13.5. Back in a moment. Hey, don't forget to call in 436-MeTV option 11.
Considering solar? Whether you're ready to buy now or just exploring your options, the consultants at Solar Negotiators are here to help you. A call to Solar Negotiators is like calling 5 solar companies at once. You see, when local established solar contractors have gaps in their schedule, they call Solar Negotiators to fill them. Right now, get 5 years of panel cleaning and maintenance or $1,000 off your new solar panels. So stop wasting your time searching and call Solar Negotiators, because when contractors compete for your business, you win.
Back here on a program today on Connect with Me, talking about the flower and floral industry. If you want to open up a flower shop, Terry can give you some advice on that. Biggest hurdle to climb is what?
Biggest hurdle to climb for us was location to find the right place. And ultimately, we had a number of locations around Fresno. We thought about, the Tower District's pretty groovy, nice art feel down there. North Fresno is up and coming and growing, and then we thought, we want to stay closer to home, and so we decided on our spot by our house.
Okay, I'll roll another piece of videotape here, and we're out of videotape. Hey, just re-roll one. It doesn't matter. We can arranging flowers. How about that? And so talk about, a lot of people have allergies here in the Central Valley, and do these flowers affect, or can they affect those people with severe allergies?
Yes, I'm a hay fever person, and I have hay fever, and although I love the smell of them, stargazer lilies absolutely wipe me out. And if I'm around too many of them, I start sneezing like a maniac. And so certain flowers will set off your
Which
allergies.
ones?
Stargazers are pretty heavy. The Asiatic lilies, some tulips. I haven't identified them all yet. Sometimes I'll be in a cooler full of flowers and something is making me sneeze like crazy. I'm trying to figure out which one it is.
Which are the biggest offenders, though, as far as allergies are concerned?
As far as I'm concerned, and a well-known fact is the stargazer lily.
That's the biggest one?
That's one of them. One of them. I don't know. I can't speak as to what the biggest one is, but that's a huge culprit.
Roses are not bad, huh?
Roses are not too bad. I can smell those and be pretty okay.
Carnations, camellias?
Not bad. Camellias, not sure about camellias. Carnations and roses, not a problem.
I'll bet you don't get a request too often for camellias, do you?
No, actually, no. Is that one of your favorites?
No, I just was wondering because Sacramento's my hometown. That's the camellia capital of the world, they say. So always has been. So I just wondered. I bet that's kind of a rare request. I would venture to say.
For us it is. We haven't had any requests for those yet. Now I'm going to go back to the shop and look them up and.
What about what's your biggest request? What do people want the most? Is it roses?
Roses. We go through a ton of roses actually. And it's a very fine edged sword because we'll order a ton of roses in, thinking, okay, we sold a lot last week, and then we don't sell but one bunch all week, and then so you have to find that balance. How much to keep on hand to make people happy when they come in or call in, but don't buy too much because then it just goes bad.
Yeah. Okay. So allergies, you can't do anything about that because the fact is we all have them, and we have flowers here, and whether or not we had flower shops here, they're all over the place. They're all over the Central Valley. So. When a customer comes in, we are rolling another piece of videotape here. I guess we're looking at some flowers. When a customer comes in, what's the number one? If they look puzzled, if they look confused as to what they want, how do you help that customer? Because a lot of people come in confused. I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I want that. Oh, that looks good. Oh, gee, how much is that in the window there? Or how much is that arrangement? I know I've gone in confused oftentimes.
And that's where being a salesman, my sales background has very much helped, because when they come in and they get that puzzled look on their face and they're just staring blankly at my cooler, the first thing I'll ask them, if they don't know exactly what they want, is what's the occasion? What are we celebrating? Why are we sending flowers? Is it my wife? Sure. Does she like roses? Sure. You like red roses? Red roses, pink roses. One guy came in. He knew he wanted roses, but he didn't know what color. I said, "What's the occasion?" He said, "I'm putting out a fire." And I said, "Do you like red or pink?" He says, "I'm not sure." And I said, "How hot's that fire?" And he goes, "You better give me those hot pink roses."
Is that right?
So it's just a series of questions you ask them, and you can usually get to what it is they're hungry for, what is it they need, and guide them into it.
Caller, you're on the air.
Thank you. I entertain clients in my home, and I live there not too far from Terry's shop. And I'm wondering, it would be nice if I had a new arrangement every week. Would you? It's not an office per se. It's like a home office, but I do see clients, a couple of them a week come in. Can I get a weekly plan where the bouquet gets changed out for my home office? And could we set it at a specific time and day so I can make sure that somebody's home to take it? That kind of thing. Is this? I'm taking that out of what I've seen so far in the story. Is this correct?
It is correct. We have a program that we can do weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. We have a custom fit program, and we even break it down to small, medium, large. We can custom do it for you. And absolutely, that's one of the things that we're pushing very hard, is to get folks on a program who like to have fresh flowers around, and we can absolutely take care of you on that and meet your budget and your specifications.
Okay, there you are, making you're the delivery man, the chief cook and bottle washer at your place, and you know, we hope that you survive. We hope you do. They say it's what, 5 years? Give it 5 years and see, huh? Or you're already doing pretty well, probably.
We're hoping to go a lot longer than that. We sure are. We'd like
no, but
to
they
go.
say 5 years is the average if you know if your business will succeed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you've heard that.
Yeah. Yep.
And you had no prior business experience prior to this, right?
Not owning my own storefront. No. Business as far as commercial sales like that, and that's about it. But,
yeah, I'm going to talk about that on the other side of the break. One more segment to go here on Connect with Me, 436-ME-TV, option 11. Back in just a moment.
When you're looking for KitchenAid innovation and quality, who has the answers, the selection, the price? Ventura TV Appliance. With billions in nationwide appliance buying power, more than Home Depot and Best Buy combined, will help you save. Our low prices on Energy Star qualified KitchenAid appliances save you energy and money, and pay no interest on select models when paid in full within 12 months. Ventura TV Appliance, serving you since 1951.
Back here on Connect with Me, talking with Terry Campbell. He is the owner of Karma Cat Floral and Gift, and opening up a business for the first time, having no prior experience. A big challenge for you. Obviously, you said it was scary. So what are you doing to try to keep the books straight, try to keep your head above water? Hey, we got a phone call coming in. You can answer that on the other side here. Good morning. You're on Connect with Me. Your question.
Yeah, good morning, John. And I don't know your guest's name, his first name.
Terry Campbell.
Terry? Okay.
Terry.
Okay. Two questions. When you say I purchased some plants or flowers from you, how do I keep them fresh? And do you add anything to keep them fresh or last longer, get more for your money? And that's first question. Second question, orchards. You know, if you have a orchard plant, how's the watering situation for those? And that's all I have on my mind. Thank you very much.
Okay. The first question was about keeping your flowers and plants looking fresher, longer, and lasting. Now, a live plant, of course, it's going to depend on the species of plant, and with every plant we sell, we have a tag that lists what kind of plant it is and very basic care instructions. And we can also point you in the right direction to care for your live plant so it has a longer, healthier life. For your fresh cut flowers, I cannot stress the importance more of changing that water on a regular basis, and we do provide.
How often do you change the water?
Oh, every 3 or 4 days, I would say. That's
okay. Do you add any kind of powder or substance to the water to keep them fresh?
When we sell
and does it work?
It does. There's a product called Floralife, and we have small packages that we sell, or we include with every floral delivery. And the Floralife package, added about half of that little package we give you every 3 or 4 days, will greatly help extend the life of your flowers.
And what's in that? What's the ingredient?
Oh boy! I didn't know there was going to be a quiz.
Okay.
You know, we did look it up. Customer came in and was curious, and we looked it up, and it boiled down to a lot of the same ingredients that were in 7-Up. Actually,
is that right?
Yeah. And I can't remember the actual ingredients.
Lots of sugar, then, huh?
A little sugar in there, yeah. Boy, it's oh.
Ascorbic acid,
ascorbic acid,
citric acid.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. And it came fairly close to 7-Up, though. We were laughing about it and daring each other to put some in water and drink it, which we didn't do.
Yeah. No Ouzo, no Jack Daniels. Okay.
No.
Okay. It might kill it, right?
Yeah, kill me. Oh.
Now, anyway, getting back to the business. So you can extend the life of the flower or the plant just by following the instructions. But as we all know, a lot of times the instructions, we bungle them, so they don't last as long. But getting back to the business, keeping your head above water, is that the biggest hurdle?
Yes, you know, trying to make the right decisions. One of the first things we did is we hired a very competent bookkeeper to keep track of our finances and do our taxes and our employment. We have one employee, Julie. and she's a fantastic gal. She's a part-time employee, and we made sure we were tempted to do the payroll on our own, but with everything else we were learning, we decided to put that in a professional's hand, and that really helped us out. It's an extra expense, but well worth it.
It is. It is. So getting into business for yourself for the first time, inexperienced, that had to go through your mind. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Am I right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you're just feeling your way along?
Yeah, we do a lot of research. I mean, when it comes to the flowers, designing the flowers, we took classes for that, and we did a lot of independent research, our own research.
You asked other people?
We asked other people. We're not afraid to ask questions. That's the one thing. So with that part, we're very confident with the floral arranging as far as an actual business decisions, things, and we are not afraid to admit, don't know how to do that, hire a professional, take care of that for us, and make sure it's done correctly.
And the biggest advice you would have for somebody who wants to open a flower shop, whether it be next door to you or across town, would be what, Terry?
Make sure you've got the capitalization. Undercapitalization will kill you, and we were fortunate.
Meaning what?
Meaning, make sure you've got the money to get started. Make sure you know that your cooler is going to cost X amount of money. Make sure you've got all the money for your startup costs, your supplies, everything. But also make sure we made sure we had enough in the bank. If we heard crickets for the first 6 months, we were ready for it. And I'll tell you, we opened up at the slowest time of the year purposely, but we've been very fortunate. We're getting more business than we anticipated, but however, we've heard that more florists will go out of business because they're undercapitalized, and when those slow months hit, your doors close. So make sure you've got the cushion. Absolutely.
Really? So it's a big risk.
Huge risk. And and the other thing too is, if you think you're going to open a florist shop or any business, I guess, and sit back and drink Earl Grey tea and design pretty flowers, and that's all you do, no, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
For example,
making sure you're, from the business end of it, making sure your finances are in line, making sure you have a good advertising budget, you have a good advertising program going on, making sure that you're out there hustling and getting customers. And I'll tell you, I go out and I meet people all day long, and I shake hands and I introduce myself and hustle to get those customers.
Were there any surprises along the way or so far?
The biggest surprise is that as busy as we've been, we did not anticipate having this much business.
Bumps in the road. Any surprises? Any bumps? Not really, huh?
A lot of small ones, small learning experiences. Nothing. We've been fortunate not to have any earth-shattering problems. Yeah, but we're so paranoid and so attention to detail that we think we've avoided a lot of that. But nothing has actually thrown up a roadblock for us yet.
Yeah, but you're prepared for it. That's the thing. You're prepared for it in case it does happen. Okay, give your website, give out your phone number to the people out there that want to contact you, and in case they want to make an order, place an order.
Absolutely. We are at the corner, 365 West Shaw Avenue, southeast corner of Shaw and Maroa. Our phone number is area code 559-374-5400. We have a website, www.karmacatfloral.com. We have a gallery on there that you can see, and a description of our different services. My email is terry@karmacatfloral.com. My wife is Fran at Fran@karmacatfloral.com. You can reach either one of us on that. You can always call the store. We'll be there.
Also on your website, if you go on your website, do you have pictures of flowers that people can look at, or arrangements that people can look at? They can call in and say, hey, Terry, I'm looking on your website right now and I'm seeing a photo. I can see an arrangement that I really like. Can they do that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So you have floral arrangements actually on your website.
We do. We have a gallery you can look at. And our website right now is an ever-developing thing. We're always adding more stuff to it, so it's perpetually under construction. Adding more services and adding more pictures. We will have a gallery of different occasions. We will have a wedding gallery, a birthday gallery, things like that coming soon. But right now it's just a general gallery.
Yeah, so they can call you and say, I'm looking at this photo right now and I see that arrangement. It's on the second page of your website and it's 1A and I want that.
Yeah, they sure can. Another great place to look too if they want to see what we can do. We have a Facebook page. Karma Cat Floral and Gift has a Facebook page, and surprisingly, that's been one of our best friends.
Is that right?
We've had more people.
More hits on Facebook than your webpage?
You know, we think we can track the ones on the Facebook one, not on our webpage, but we leave our Facebook page open during the day actually, and people will send us messages,
Comments
hey,
and
comments,
messages
requests,
and requests on there. So do they place orders on Facebook?
I've had several orders on Facebook. They'll get on there, they'll like our page, and we'll get a message on there that says, hey, my wife and I are having an anniversary party, we need 8 centerpieces, how much? And they'll leave their phone number and I'll call them back. So that was kind of an unexpected thing. We didn't realize that was going to be such a great tool.
Okay, Terry Campbell.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate your time. Hey, is the owner of Karma Cat Floral and Gift over at Shaw and Aroa. That's going to do it for us today here. The focus was on business on Comcast 187 and 43.6 and 13.1. The replay coming up at 1 o'clock, 13.6, and 8 p.m. at 13.5. See you Monday. Have a great weekend.